of the day goes to Retool. Now, there's been a lot of discussion online recently about enterprise grade agent software. And now Retool are historically the internal application low code solution for the enterprise. Now they're getting in to the not vibe coding game because that doesn't really happen too much in the enterprise, but basically text to app game. Here is what they say. It says, build me a manufacturing dashboard that monitors throughput by production line using my PostSQL data, PostgreSQL data. Start building. And this is basically going to let you generate internal software better with AI. So this software that you use Retool for, it's not external facing. It's not going to be for the general public. It's going to be for your team, enterprise grade teams of hundreds, thousands, 10,000 users internally to your company. You're going to have access to all your data. And you might want to create an interface to allow your employees to do stuff easier. And that's what Retool do. And this is them getting into the text to app game. So this introduces enterprise app gen software that starts with a sentence and ends in production. They introduced this at the Retool Summit in San Francisco. They announced the world's first enterprise application generation app gen platform. Now anyone can build applications with natural language. And for the first time, you can do this on your data, Postgres, Databricks, etc. In your cloud. You can host Retool anywhere. It's just a Docker image and with security built in from day one. E.g., every button clicked in every Retool app is audited and saved. Again, there is other tools that do this, but Retool have been around for a long time. They've got everything in place to be robust at the enterprise level, which big customers and clients expect. They go on to explain exactly what it can do and the security protocols and the flexibility they have. But here is a video that I think we should just watch to cap it off so everyone can get a context of what a proper AI grade solution in the text app space actually looks like. Let me get this sound on because I think there is actually an explainer here too, which we can listen to.
We've seen that AI tools can turn natural language into a functional user interface, but there's a big gap between that and building enterprise apps that are connected to your data, running in production, and built securely. That's why we've built the industry's first enterprise app gen platform. Let me show you what that looks like. Let's say I want to build a tool to triage failed shipments. I start by describing what I need in natural language. The ability to filter failed deliveries, assign owners, write updates, and sync changes back to my shipment database. Just like how you might pull a coworker into a conversation, you could specifically app mention their database in your prompt. If I want to be more specific about which resources my app needs access to, I can specify those ahead of time as well. Instead of jumping straight into building, Retool looks at my existing data and starts to build out a plan. Since all of this planning is in Retool itself, it can take into context any of the resources where my business data lives, inspect the schema of each of those sources, and build a plan to integrate this data into my application, safely and securely. After I approve this plan, you'll see components start to appear on the canvas in real time, queries being written and configured, and be able to see exactly what's happening as the pieces of my app are connected together according to the plan. And this is where Retool continues to shine. Instead of having to reprompt for each individual change or update, we can drag the components around, update them using the inspector, or even edit the code inside of our generated queries manually. After a couple minutes, we have our app. It's not a mock-up or a skeleton of what we asked for, it's a fully working app. The filters work, the forms write data back to our data source, and the layout gives users exactly what they need. Once all of our changes are in, our app is ready to publish, and it really is as easy as clicking the publish button. Because our app is built in Retool, I don't need to think about wiring up authentication, setting up role-based access, or figuring out where to store our logs. All of that is handled for me thanks to the governance features of the Retool platform. When I hit publish, I'm not just releasing a prototype, I'm shipping something that's custom built and ready to use. But building new apps is just half the story. Most development time is spent maintaining existing software by adding new features and adapting to new requirements. Oftentimes, that means jumping into the deep end with an app that you didn't build and having to understand how it works. Let's say we've been tasked with making edits to our quarterly access review tool. Managers use this app to see which employees have access to which systems and either approve or revoke that access. There's a lot going on here, but we can ask for an explanation of how a certain component works or where the data in a particular portion of our app is coming from. This is a super helpful way to get the lay of the land before we jump in and start making changes. Once we better understand the app we're editing, let's say we need to update one of the underlying queries. Retool interprets the request, shows me exactly what it's planning to change, and gives me the ability to review and approve the updated query. Only then do the changes go live, with no surprises and no AI overreach. Every change is versioned, so I can experiment without being afraid of losing any work, and I can roll back anytime I need to. This massive shift in software creation is happening right now, and you can ride that wave with apps that are built on your data, deployed in your cloud, and secure by default using Retool's Enterprise App Gen platform. Everything you've seen here is now available in our public beta, so head over to retool.com or look for the assist icon in your app editor to get started. We can't wait to see what you build.
Okay, so that's pretty much the difference between building a vibe coded app inside of like Lovable or Bolt, etc., or name them. Obviously, they're targeting completely different markets, have completely different functionality, but Retool has been around for a long time, and you can see the granularity that you can get with Retool and how enterprisey or enterprise grade they are. You can build all these custom interfaces easily. Now you can do them with natural language inside of Retool.